Hello and welcome to Stream Captain Events Tips, Tricks, and Analysis, where we will start off with the analysis and then will go to the tips and tricks. I have been collecting data since um, the winter event 2019 and have been partaking in every event. With Stream Captain Events, there are two main lines. I will post a screenshot for here. One is a free line where you can play with 3 captains, and if you pay $10 per event, there is no season pass, at least till now, you can get a 4th slot and an additional premium track that gives you cosmetics and more powerful scrolls and stuff like that. So the way my data collection worked, I played the game, I wrote down how many tokens you needed for each tier. I wrote it Rang, so in case you're interested, Rang is German and it translates roughly to tier. So these are the levels that you have to go through: level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You get the drift. And it goes on virtually forever. There are a few streamers that I will cover later where you can probably see that. The tokens are the tokens that a player needs, and the tokens are the tokens that a streamer needs. A stream captain, to be more specific. Okay. So in the first event, it was 1, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 35, 45, 55, 70. You can see it. I'll scroll down a bit in case you want to pause something. And this captains needed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then 11, 12, 13, 11, 12, and then it went to 20, and then 50. And I think after 50, it's more or less the same. So it's 2 times 50 for a captain at 38 and 39, and then 100, and then 150, and so on and so forth. Okay. So the way this here goes is I calculated on okay. I remember. I calculated the average amount of coins that you need. I assumed that you get 2.5 coins per match roughly. There are a few caveats to that, but just for the general sake, a captain can only place 1 unit, which is an epic unit. It's not as strong as other epic units, but since a mate or a non-captain player that goes along with the captain cannot always play an epic, saying that the captain has an advantage on average, even if the epic is not as strong as the epic of a non-captain. So I took the coins or the tokens you needed and divided by 2.5. I did this for the captains and for the non-captains. As you can see here, this is that's what these numbers are. Then I said, okay, if you only have 1 captain, which is pretty much irrelevant, if you start playing the event, even if you only have 1 captain, you will get enough scrolls pretty quickly to go up to 3 captains. So 1 and 2 captain players are very rare and very unlikely. All you have to do is unlock enough minions, and since you get scrolls at random and money, you should be able to unlock 3 captains pretty quickly. The time needed, here's a little bit of a peculiar thing for the observant person. What I did is I said, okay, you can't get half a coin. At minimum, you would get 1 coin. So you have to definitely have 30 in the first match. And then I started multiplying more or less the amount of games needed. So the calculation is these are the amounts of games needed, because you need so many tokens. You get 2.5 on average. That means 2 times 2.5 is 5 tokens. You have one captain that you can board, which means you need to do 2 games. So yeah, and then that times 30 minutes, because on average most captains let the time run out. I will also give, just as a heads up, I will also give tips and tricks for captains from what I observed, not first-hand experience, but I will also give a few names of people you should be able to ask. I think there are some decent fellows, at least in my experience. Link will also be in the description down below. So yes, then that equals 1 hour of time that you need to spend. Of course, if you have 2 captains, the time gets halved or divided by 2, which is still 30 minutes, and so on and so forth. So after a certain amount of levels where you're at, there are differences. Where it gets really interesting is pretty much level 3 captains and 4 captains. Three captains that you join and 4 captains that you join, as well as the time that a captain needs. So let's go at just cover the basics. As you can see, if you have 1 captain, you need around 1,050 games, more or less, which equals, let's see, 31,470 minutes, or 542 hours and 524 hours or 525 hours about. If you have 2 captains, you need around 527 games, which is around 15,750 minutes, or 262.5 or 263 hours. Now we get to where it gets more or less realistic, depending upon if you want to spend money or not. So, you need either 300 and you needed either 335 hours and 353 games, 354 games more or less, or 10,520 minutes, or 175.33 hours. And with 4 captains, you only needed 267.5, 268 games, more or less, 7,905 minutes, or 131 hours, 0.75, or 132 hours. As for a captain, they needed, since there are no tiers, since a captain can only play 1 game at a time, 131 games, 132 games to reach. This is all to reach tier 38. Okay, just a heads up. So you need a little bit less to reach tier 37, which is the tier that you want to reach to get, or tier 36, which is the tiers that you want to reach to get the most bonuses. Although going up to tier 42 is still an advantage. I'll cover that when we get to the modern events. So this is all December, by the way. So 131.75 games, 132 games more or less, which is around 6,120 minutes, or 102 games. So as you can see, a captain needs less, definitely, than a player. Now, what I did down here, give me a second to analyze this. Okay, so these are the games needed. Oh, okay. Now I got it. Okay. So this is the amount of minutes that you can add more or less to the base time, because you don't this is just if one game would start right after the next, and there is some time needed for the captain to start in a game, for the captain to start the battle in the first case, for the captain to distribute rewards, and so on and so forth. So these are additional minutes. This here is the total amount of time that you need, and this here are the additional hours that you need to spend, more or less the uptime between battles and placing units and so on and so forth. Yeah. So as you can see, the more captains you have, the less wasted time you have, more or less, but you still have a bit. Which means that the total amount of time that you needed with one captain is around 611 hours. The total amount of time you needed with two captains is around 306 hours. With three captains is around 204 hours, and with four captains is around 154 hours. A captain doesn't have that much more uptime because he can start the battle and end it as he wants. Of course, there are different types of streamers out there, so as I said, I will give some advice as to how to finish a rift most efficiently. Now, these are the days that you had, more or less, to play. That means the December event was around 30 days, and that means you needed to do, let's see, 30 divided by the minutes. You need to do around 1,049 minutes per day, more or less, which is around 17 hours per day. Or what's this? Is this correct? This is wrong. This has to be this, right? Okay, now I got it. Okay, sorry. So you need around 1,223 hours per day, or 20.4 hours at 1,223 minutes per day, or 20.4 hours. And we have to correct all of this. Yes, almost done. Okay. So you need around 612 minutes per day with two captains, and that's 10.2 hours per day. Playing 409 or 410 minutes per day with three captains, which is 6.83 hours per day, or 308 minutes per day with four captains, which is roughly 5.13 hours per day. You can see the numbers, you can crunch them. If anybody's interested, I will upload it to my Discord. Just come on, write me, and I will copy the sheet for anybody who is interested in it. I will load it up on the Discord or whatever. A captain would need 220 hours, 220 minutes per day, and 3.68 hours per day. And since a streamer streams partially every day, or maybe every other day, but streams is a lot on the computer and can... I'll get to this later. Let me just correct this real quickly. Did that work? Did it copy it all right? Wonderful. Okay. I'm not going to go through all this. The second event, they changed the times a bit, as you can see, but they also reduced the amount of days. So it wasn't 30, it was, I think, around 17 or 18. You don't really have much information, at least I don't. I'm not too... I know that these numbers are pretty much accurate, but since they pump out of an event each month, which makes it... when I come to the review part. Yeah. So, just in case you're interested, these are the numbers. As said, it's the whole thing, but they have pretty much stopped changing it after a certain point. I'm not quite sure if Infernal, Abduction, Dark Heart, and the Deep are accurate when it comes to the amount of tokens a stream captain needs. Although the way the game works, or the way the players, the devs do the game, I have little belief that it would favor the non-captains. I'll get to an explanation for that in a second. Or after we cover the whole thing. I'm just correcting this. Oh, and just in case you're interested what this is I started in this run recording the amount of tokens I got. There are also some zeros in it because you can actually get 0 tokens. So if you want to know the average amount of tokens that you can more or less get, which there is still a caveat to that. This is pretty much the amount, and that averages out. Let's see, we have 514. Uh, 3.3 tokens. So I'll modify the Awakening, the last one that I completed, because the current event is still going, and I don't know if I will have I will be trying it with 3 captains because I don't have the money to waste to play. Sorry, slip of the tongue, you could say. So we're just correcting this here. And just so you know, the 2.5 is not incorrect per se. The explanation will be given when we reach how the event works and how to maximize the amount of tokens you get, and so on and so forth. More or less the tips and tricks of the section. What am I doing? There we go. Oh, that works. So okay. Not quite. No idea why I had 15 there. Look at that. Correcting everything. Whatever the reason, no one quite knows why. I guess. Maybe I didn't. Nah, it's around 19 games nowadays. I'm pretty certain of that. Or very certain. Yeah, 1980. And there I even wrote it down. Look at that. Me making notes. So as I said, I will be If anybody's interested, just hit me up on my Discord. No problem. So, are we through yet? No, we're not. Wait a second. Now we ought to be through. I will cover this with the current event then. Just so in case you're interested, this is what it looks like. So nowadays you need around 50 tokens. It goes 1, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 35, 45, 50, and then it stays with 50. It goes up to 55 at level 18, and then it goes to 60 at level 29. At the current way the current event is, I have no other reason to believe. I have no reason to believe they change it in any way. And I looked at the past events and made sure to write down the amount of tokens the captains needed, which is this. So, yeah, they need 10 to level 27, 8 to 18, 10 to 27, and 15 to 37. Then they need 30 for 37, and then 50, 100, and so on and so forth. Yeah. Okay. So, this means that you still need around 60 games with one captain, which is 1,800 hours minutes. This is 30 hours per day, or no, 30 hours in total for one level, or 30 minutes with two captains, 900 hours in total, 900 minutes in total, 15 hours in total, or 20 with 3 captains in total, 20 hours in total, which is 20 games in total, which is 600 hours more or less, and then 10 hours in total for one tier. And with 4 captains, you need 15 games more or less. Not 15 games in total, but you can. But the amount of time is divided by 4. Just to be clear, each captain divides it logically the amount of game, or multiplies the amount of games you play more or less. So you play 4 times the amount of game over one captain more or less. Pretty much exactly that. Oh, right. I want to adjust this by 3.3. Let's do 3.32 just for the heck of it. Doesn't really matter that much, cause you know what? Let's just say 3.5. Let's say that makes it that makes the whole number thing smoother at least. Okay. This means pretty much, well, not that much smoother. That you need around 600 games in total with one captain, around 18,000 minutes in total. That's 300 hours with one captain. 300 games with 2 captains, with around 9,000 games with 2 captains, and that's around 150 hours. 200 games with 3 captains, which is around 6,000 hours minutes, and that's around 100 hours. And then you need 155 games about with 4 captains, which is around 4,500 minutes and 75 hours. A stream captain still needs less. It's somewhat similar, but still less nonetheless, which is 4,000 800 4,080 games, 4,090 games more or less. That's around 70 hours. So if you were to play one captain, and since it's 19 days, this is, as I said, the calculation again, 5 times the amount of games needed for the time between playing, leveling up, and catching when you can place a minion again, and all kinds of factors, which I will get into, which means you need an additional 50 hours more or less. So that means you need around 21,000 minutes. That's 350 hours, which is 940 minutes per day, or in total for the games, and in total 1,100 minutes per day, or 18 hours per day. With 2 captains, it's 552 minutes per day, and around 9 hours per day. With 3 captains, it's 370 minutes per day, or around 6 hours per day. And with 4 captains, it's around 300 hours per day, 300 minutes per day, or 4.6 hours per day. A captain needs in total around, you see, they also need less time, more or less. That's what my assumption is, at least. They need around 233 hours, minutes, which is roughly 3.8 hours or 4 hours about. Now, if we just, for lulz, look at the amount of time we needed in the 30-day event, the Christmas event, with a lot more tokens, as you can see, the time has not gone up pretty much. Well, then again, it is a different... Wait a second. If, just out of curiosity, if I add this, change this to 3.5... Ah, look at that. You need to spend more time nowadays than back then. Interesting. So they made it a bit worse again, I guess, or they made it worse with the next event, and they started going somewhere in a positive direction, more or less. So as you can see, that's you need. The more captains you have, the better you get. And just in case you want any rough estimation as to what to do, what to play, to how to come forward, how much time to invest per day to not cut it too close. Take a look at the 3 cap metric, which is around 6 hours per day, or if you have 4 captains, around 5 hours per day. Yeah. Now, well, I guess I'll leave this open. What can you do in order to get more coins, or what factors into coins? The amount of participation, or the amount of effect you have, factors in. That means how strong your minions are, how many minions you can place. That also means if you have very powerful minions, or if you place a lot of minions, or both, you will get more coins. You will get 6 coins, 4 coins, 5 coins more than other people. So the people who grind it more get more out of it. That also goes with the premium route, because you get more scrolls, you get more power, you get more gold. What can you do with except spend money? Well, you go onto Twitch and you look under the category Stream Raiders. Stream Raiders are pretty much people who stream Captain primarily. They might be watching something, but they don't wait. They don't have games on ready for battle for minutes. They reduce, in effect, they reduce this time here. They reduce it by a lot, by 4 to 5 minutes. So you can cut around 40 to 50 hours out of it, or 25 hours in total. Yeah, bringing the total down. So you might only need, let's see, with 3 captains, you might only need maybe actually 100 hours, which would bring the total down to, yeah, around 5.2 hours, or maybe even if you have 4 captains, 4 hours, which is neat. Why do I say this? Okay. For example, people who actually play Stream Captain the way I think it should have been implemented, by doing it as a filler between games or something a little bit where the community can interact with, they won't start a battle, not necessarily right away. There are a few types of games that lend itself to it. I know that Dead by Daylight is a one that lends itself to it very well. Hunt Showdown ought to be somewhat okay with it. I don't know how long the matches last, but I feel like they can end pretty fast. At least that they don't go longer than 30 minutes. So if a streamer is a Hunt Showdown streamer or a Dead by Daylight streamer, you don't necessarily have to wait that long. Also, they might actually wait before starting their next game match before to complete their stream captain thing, and start the next stream captain game before going into their next match one, whatever they play. I assume also Rainbow Six Siege and so on and so forth, Resident Evil Resistance, those types of games work well. Games that don't work so well would be, I think World of Warships might not work so well. I'm not quite sure about that. I had a few, but I dropped them very quickly. League of Legends, 5v5 and so on and so forth, they don't work well. Pretty much everything that takes longer than 45 minutes. If I were Stream Captain, I would implement a feature where the streamer can adjust the total amount of time till the next game to start the battle, and therefore you get more rewards. So if you have a game that, if you set the Stream Captain game for 45 minutes, for example, then you get 1.5 times the rewards, sort of. Anyway, look for Stream Raiders and Stream Captain on Twitch and join those captains. A link of my favorite captains will be down below. I can highly recommend them. Number 2. Play as many minions as possible. The more minions you have, the more you contribute to the battle. The more you contribute to the battle, the more tokens you get. Number 3. Take some of the gold you get from the event and some of the gold you earn and so on and so forth to invest into scrolls to get more powerful, because the more powerful your minion, the more you contribute. Number 3, 4, 5, I guess, would be, let me think. Don't be afraid to ditch a captain, even if the battle is ready. I have had captains who went offline while the battle was ready, and they didn't start it. They just forgot it. I've had captains who had battle ready for half an hour or something. Don't be afraid to ditch them if you have a feeling that it won't go anywhere. If you want to get far, time is a valuable asset. It doesn't matter if you have 4 captains or 3 to play. So, tips for captains. Don't be afraid to start early. The captain, Mr. Hooks, or let me see if I can find the name real quick, or Arianic TV, for example, as far far as I know, they start when the event starts. When you have the feeling you can beat the enemy because you have enough numbers, just start the battle. You can get 3 or 4 times the amount of battles that a regular captain gets. Make a weekend, stream captain, try to get people in there. They will not be in your stream necessarily because it has gone from being a stream game to a grind game that has loosely connected to streams. But the streamers that stream it on a weekend or when you have time and start the battles early. That way you can more or less power grind through it. Of course, try to estimate if you can win. That you need to win, of course. I would recommend asking Mr. Hooks maybe for some tips. He's believe he should be a pretty decent fellow, and also I'm pretty sure that what's his name again, Aryakanovic TV. I feel like you can ask them for tips. Otherwise, there are other stream captains that I will have down below that one of them will definitely answer. Okay. Now, my review of Stream Captain the game and Stream Captain the events, if you can call them events. I personally feel like the time between events is more of an event than the events are. If you have 19 days of a month, then over half of it, half of a month is 15 days. So if you have 19 to 20 days, I don't know if maybe it's even 20, and they just, the moment that the first day starts, it's 19 because it's not a full day anymore. Then the non-event thing is more of an event than the event is. Also, I'm not happy with them having so many with the monetization of the game, for example. And I guess I'll review the game as well, just added. I wanted to do an extra video, but I'm actually pretty fed up with it. I mean, just for event's sake, there is a legendary minion called the Orc Slayer, which deals additional damage to orcs. Orcs are most times in non-events as far as I can tell. So, yeah. Paying $10 for an event and now an event each month means you will play, if you are somebody who always wants to, once you participate like I am, always wants to, well, get the maximum benefit, not miss out, FOMO, something like that, then you will be paying $10 per event, which is $120 a year. That's a lot of money. EA would be proud, you could say. Also, it has gotten a little bit more pay-to-win-esque type, because nowadays, first of all, you can, let me take a look real quick. Can you or can you not? Oh, you can't buy gold. Okay. So I was a little bit mistaken about that. But you can buy meat, which means you can place your better units faster. It's not as big of an advantage. However, now that the PvP is out, the people who invest money into meat, for example, can play minions far more often, and playing a minion equals 1 experience point. So it is a pretty expensive grind if one were to grind that way, but it is possible. That's one thing. The other thing is, if you have time and you pay the event, you get way more gold. Firstly, because you have a fourth fourth captain slot. Secondly, let's see, 1, 200, 300, 550, 600. That's just all the gold that I haven't gotten yet, in addition to scrolls that you get in the battle reward pass rewards. So you get a lot more, which is it's not as egregious. Okay, I take it back. It's not quite as bad as EA, but since they added the PvP in there, and the PvP has literal loot boxes for skins and stuff, you can get tokens with that, but it doesn't really make that much of a difference, because the games start all around take 6 minutes to play, and it takes sometimes around 3 to 4 minutes to 5 minutes to find a battle. And while you get more bones the more your captain wins, but well, it's still a little bit it's not that good, it's not that bad, it's okay. But since you have the option to buy bones, and since the best PvP event they had was in the beginning, where you could just PvP with whatever captain you wanted, even if and with multiple captains. Now you can only PvP with one captain, and if one of your captains decides to switch to PvP, and you're already in a PvP game with a different captain, tough luck. You have to switch one of your captains. In my opinion, the correct choice of modifying the PvP event around it would have been to make it possible to participate playing against yourself, more or less. They even gave a $20,000 reward. I don't know if it was to players or to a captain, but instead of okay. So let's just summarize. What I find really frustrating is that they do so many events. It's a turnoff. There was a company in Germany called Praktika. They did a commercial that was a 20% reduced price on everything except for animal food, and they did that so often. At some point it was clear it's not a deal. It's just they have normally higher prices, and then they reduce them to an average price. And that company, after a certain point, the effect, reducing cost, making sales, gets people to buy, even if it's not a real reduction. I think I saw a picture once from Black Friday where people where a shoe was sold, and you could see the original price of the shoe, I think $216 or something dollars underneath it, and they put a new sticker on it. It was a little bit see-through, so that's why it was kind of obvious. Or it said 270 and they reduced it to 260, and so they didn't really reduce it, they just upped the price and then reduced it back to its original for Black Friday, because people buy reduced shit in bulk, if it's reduced or not. They don't spend too much time on it, and if there's a purchase frenzy, they do it more. But this company kept on doing it, and when you do something like that, people get desensitized to it, just like people are getting desensitized to crimes and so on and so forth. Sorry, rant. Anyway, that's why I don't like the whole event thing. I think, for me, an event should be an event. And if they want to do this kind of pass thing monthly, then the decent thing would be to say, you know what, there's a $30 season pass per year. Not $120 per year. I mean, maybe sometime they will stop the event, but at this point, why would they? I mean, there are enough people who pay it. Also, while we're at it, critiquing the game, making the event the way it is, that players need to invest so much time, makes it unappealing to people, and it takes away the beauty of the game that was something that a streamer could do with his community. It makes it into work. It makes it really grindy. And granted, there are people who are in it, but they can still grind up to who knows how much, what level, with who knows how much money, and that a captain has an advantage over over the players. That sucks. Oh, what I forgot. One of the reasons why a captain has an advantage is they can start their games whenever they want. A player has to wait. So in effect, the wait time is less with a captain. He always has an epic unit. It is weaker than an epic from a non-captain, but still, it's more powerful than a non-epic. And yeah, he can distribute the gold. They have many perks as well as not needing as much time. Theoretically, the captain should have to work harder. A captain in real life has to study and do who knows what. Earlier captains in medieval times, they, as far as I know, in order to be worthy of the title of captain, they had to rise up the rank or be born lucky, I guess. Yeah. So that's the one. Let's sum up. One egregious is that they do events so often. The second is they don't do an event pass. Or they could do it like Dead by Daylight does. They could put in a sort of a premium currency, and if you reach level 37, you don't have to purchase the pass again. I spent $10 around on the Dead by Daylight pass, and have till now managed to play through them permanent all the time. So I never had to spend more money on it, and even if I would, it wouldn't feel that bad. This having to spend 6 hours a day on this, if you want to complete it, it's tough. I have other things to do. I have a day job that I work at. I have streaming that I do. I'm trying to do content videos, and because I have so much on my plate, I haven't been able to do this video, and I want to do it in January. Same thing goes for Dead by Daylight. I haven't been able to do it, but yeah. So this is Mr. Hooks. As I said, I will link them in the description below in case you're interested. This is also a good streamer, and this one, as far as my experience is, also this one, and this one, they all are pretty good. Tide Time I just like because he's Tide Time. Yeah, the amount of events, the money you have to pay for it, that the streamers have it easier, and let's think, was there anything else? And the time you have to invest into an event. So if the events were the way they are right now, or in the way they were in December, and you would have one for Christmas, Easter, summer, Halloween, only $10 per event, I guess it would be okay. A $15 or a $20 season pass would be more preferable. The way they're doing it right now, $30 pass with a booster effect would be good. Yeah. Or an automatic unlocking of all events after you participate in 3 in a row or something like that. Not the tiers, but the battle pass. Okay, so that would be good. Also, if they wanna, there's a loyalty bonus now. I don't know if it continues after you get 3 stacks. I sometimes feel that you don't get an additional loyalty bonus chest after the 3, so it might be worth trying it out. If somebody knows, please comment below and I'll pin it. This is driving me crazy, but I just don't have the well, whatever it is anymore to do it. So yeah, um, that's so that's one thing. They should, instead of having just the loyalty bonus, they should also have a bonus for staying with the captain after he logged off. In my opinion, you know, there are games that give you a XP buff when logged off. If you have to invest 5 fucking hours a day or 4 fucking hours a day in order to get to tier 37, help the fucking players. Seriously. So then the next point, skins. $5 a skin is okay, but $10 is really stretching it. And the higher these skins go, the more problematic it is. What they could do if they want to save this, keep the prices as they are, they could look if they implement some kind of watch a commercial, get a token, a premium token, and after, I don't know, 10 premium tokens, you can get a $5 skin or something like that, or 20 premium tokens, or who knows how many premium tokens. I don't know. That's what they would have to make out. But give the people an option to buy these things for cheaper. I mean, the site Streamloots lets the player, the streamer, customize their own decks and price them. And the lowest is $1, but still better than this, in my opinion. All my opinion. Okay, and this is the biggest BS. If you have to gift 10 skins and you have to buy the skins, then you have to pay $50 in order to get these premium gifted gifted skins. Yeah. Okay, and just in case anybody wonders, I haven't heard anything back from Stream Captain in case anybody watched the first tutorial. Oh, by the way, they should have put this up to a to like 90 potion. They should have doubled it. Having it up and being able to save like 15 potions is okay. Using 45 for an epic, but truth be told, I don't know how often I went over 60 in theory, because I just got like 15 because I had strong enough units to be on the top ranks, and then some in the loot, and this, that, and who knows what. Anyway, becoming a stream captain. If you want to become a stream captain, you apply here. I think it was there. I applied, in case you don't know, I applied November last year. A friend of mine who I recommended was applied after me. He recommended me. He got in pretty much instantly. I thought it was because he was in a stream team, which would have been the better answer. The answer that I got was, well, normally he wouldn't have gotten in. He was just lucky. It was a mistake on their part, and they won't throw him out. Not that I want him thrown out. I just want an answer. But that means that out of either you can pay favorites, or people who are unappealing don't get in, or who knows what. But whatever the reason why he got in accidentally, or maybe they just didn't tell me what the truth. Maybe they don't like me. I don't know. He got in instantly. I didn't. I have been waiting for, well, pretty much almost 3/4 of a year. And another streamer that I know, a German streamer, because, you know, I'm German and American, he applied and got in 2 weeks later or something like that. And both of these streamers have around the same views as I do. Sometimes more, sometimes less. I mean, Just out of curiosity, I don't want to. Just out of curiosity, let's see. Give me a moment. Let's see. Lol. No, that's not the right way you write his name. Google. Thank you. Please don't correct. Hello? Why can't you find him? Wait a second. Give me a moment. I'll speed this up. Okay, I found him. Let's see. Average views 6. Okay. Let's see. Is he online? No, then I have to look for him. I don't know how to write his name. Let's see. Where is he? Followed Twitch streamer. Oh, come on. Where are you? You can't be that far down. You know what? There I have the name on my OBS. Let's see. Okay. He has an average view count of also 6. Interesting. Okay. Let's see. I have an average view count of 6. So, as stated, they are pretty much have the same viewers numbers as me, and that didn't change. It's nothing new. So, yeah, that's some of the gripe that I have with the whole thing. I've seen people who had like 20 average views or something on their Discord asking why they haven't been accepted yet. That's the official stance says you need 25 to like 600 views or something like that. But yeah, if from all the people who got accepted, and I just happen to know 2 that have the same amount of views, it's very, very strange. I don't know. Anyway, what they would need to do, in my opinion, is the season pass. Make the events easier, at least for the players, and give some kind of a non-leave bonus when a streamer goes offline, that you can actually get by with, I don't know, like playing 5 to 6 hours a week, investing 5 to 6 hours a week in order to get through the event, and not 5 to 6 hours a day. So I hope you found that interesting. In case you have any questions, I stream Wednesdays, Thursdays, and every other Friday and every other Monday, depending upon what week, on Twitch. You can also follow me on Twitter and ask me something there, or come on my Discord. I wish you a happy evening. Till next time. Docs out.